Hello my fiery friends, welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. Oh, I see a couple of you already chatting away, so Gubby over on YouTube, and also Oliver Frisbee. Hi, hello my fiery friends, thanks again for joining us today. Again, hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So, we're closing in on a couple weeks away from, what's it, today's the 12th? So yeah, we're about now out, I think, 11 days out from the not Spider-Man set, but through the Omen Paths is what we're going to be getting on Magic Arena. But until then, we still have a couple more decks that I do want to get through before we get to the next interesting set. It's going to be a really interesting set once it drops out. But until then, we'll talk a little bit more about that throughout today's stream. So today, we're just going to kind of take it a little easy today. No rankings or anything like that. We're just going to have a little bit of fun with our game. What deck are we playing today, though, in Arena? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's jump into it right now and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, I see a couple more of you also popping in over on YouTube there. That Pookie, hi, hello, how are you? I'm doing great. How are you doing today? Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So, the deck we're going to be playing today, so in Arena today, we're going to be playing some non-ranked, we're going to have some casual fun here. We're just going to be just chilling with a deck that I'm simply calling Snake Waifu. So, those of you that don't remember, this card actually came to us from, what is it, Jumpstart 2025, so almost a year ago? Yeah, it's actually been a little while. So, this is a deck I've actually been wanting to play for a little while, but I kind of put it on the back burner until I felt like, I think, just wanted to take a little bit of time to have some fun with this one. But in any case, so for those of you who are new to this and those of you who haven't been around too often here, most likely, again, we're going to be playing some unranked here in Magic the Gathering Arena. We'll play again and just discuss what the deck is trying to do. We'll then have a bunch of matches, of course, in, well, it's going to be only unranked today, but still, we're going to have some fun with that. And then about halfway through the stream, we're going to try to upgrade this deck to see how well it can do if we actually really want to invest a lot more into it. But before we do, as always, let's go ahead, let's get started with the stats of the deck, because this is going to be a long one, because it's going to be one of those decks. Snake Waifu here is going to be Golgari colors of black and green. An average mana curve is going to be 2.4 for the deck. We're going to be rocking 24 creatures, 15 instants, 18 sorceries, 9 artifacts, 4 enchantments, single planeswalker, and 32 lands. So, what I'm talking about here is going to be Aphelia here, Viper Whisper. So this is going to be our key card here to help us get to our victory. Aphelia here, as you can read, is going to be a 2-mana 1/3 Gorgon Assassin legendary creature. She has Death Touch, and it reads, whenever Aphelia attacks, you can pay 2 mana. So it's going to be 1 and a hybrid Golgari. And if you do, you get to create a 1/1 black snake creature token with Death Touch. For 5 mana, until end of turn, whenever 1 or more Gorgons and or snakes we control deal combat damage to a player, that player will lose half their life rounded up. So can be a very powerful and very devastating commander once she hits the battlefield, as long as we can just try to maintain everything. However, she is very mana intensive, so we're definitely going to try to ramp out quick here and try to see if we can just make that going. Either way, we're going to try to see how many snakes we can get out here with Aphelia here, and hopefully we can just get to our victory. Even if we cannot pull off her secondary ability, snakes with Death Touch are such a pain to deal with, so hopefully that should be just enough for us to beat our opponent. In order to do that, however, let's go ahead, let's discuss now every single card in the deck, so strap on in, everybody. It's going to take a bit, but I'm going to try to push through this as quick as I can. So, starting in the 1-drop slot here, we have some removal with Annihilating Glare. Again, destroy creature or planeswalker either by paying for or sacrificing an artifact or creature. Bone Shards also can destroy another creature or planeswalker for 1, however, you either have to sacrifice a creature or discard a card. Case of the Gorgon's Kiss, this is mostly just here for flavor purposes. The case enters, destroy a creature if it was dealt damage this turn. Solve the case by getting 3 or more creature cards that were put into the graveyard from anywhere this turn. And then once it's solved, you get to create a 4/4 Gorgon creature with Death Touch and Lifelink in addition to its other types. Fatal Push here, staple, great for us for spot removal in the early game. Trigger the Revolt to deal with any creature with a mana value of 4 or less. Farika's Chosen, 1/1 snake with Death Touch. Urborg Repossession here, so bring back a creature card from our graveyard to our hand. If we can kick it for an extra 3, or actually extra 2, we can gain 2 life, and then also we'll gain another target permanent card from our graveyard to our hand. Whispers of the Dross here. So we actually have a sub-theme to the deck, which I'll talk about a little bit later on, but this can give a creature -1/-1 until end of turn, and also we can proliferate. The proliferate, of course, will come in handy once we get to the secondary part of this game plan here. Ankle Biter here. Another snake that's a 1/1 with Death Touch, so we have a ton of these in the deck, like Fang of Shigeki here does the same thing. Moss Viper does the exact same thing. Picker Poison here. Again, this is mostly just for flavor purposes, but it's still a good card for us. Make your opponent choose to either sacrifice an artifact, sacrifice an enchantment, or a creature with flying. So this can be good for us at any given point. Thirsting Roots digs out a basic land for us, or we can use it to proliferate. Revitalizing Repast here, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature and give it indestructible, so kind of pseudo protection for us, or you can use it as a tap land. Prosthetic Injector here. So this is actually one of our secondary ways we can try to get our win. So a creature will get we'll get +2/+0 and Toxic 1. You simply just equip it for 1. So putting Toxic means that then all of our cards that have Proliferate have a secondary ability, because then we can start putting poison counters on our opponent. We can start proliferating the poison counters. And the key number, of course, is if we can get to 10 poison counters on our opponent, they will lose the game. So that's kind of like our backup plan to this whole deck. Zephyr Boots here is going to be an equipment. It gives one of our creatures flying. Anytime we deal combat damage with that to a player, draw a card and discard a card. So it just helps us, again, just churn through our deck. Stonecoil Serpent here. It's an X creature, so it actually is a 0/0. However, whatever amount we pay, it'll enter with that many +1/+1 counters on it. Also has Reach, Trample, and Protection from Multicolored. In the 2-drop slot here, we have Hagra Constrictor. This creature enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Menace. This is, of course, kind of modified from, Alchemy changes. I don't remember what this card was prior to Alchemy changes, but I guess we're just going to run with it as is. Anoint with Affliction here. Exile a creature with a mana value of 3 or less. If we manage to get 3 or more poison counters on our opponent, Corruption gets triggered, so that means you can exile any creature. Bitter Triumph here, again, more spot removal for the deck, either discard a card or pay 3 life to destroy a creature or a planeswalker. Corrupted Elliot chatting with us over on YouTube there. Tell me your fave card and I'll sub. Oh, that's actually a really good question for us. Honestly, my favorite card is actually going to be Lightning Bolts, because if you don't know, I tend to be a very aggro player in my normal self. So if I were to actually pick right here, let me see if I can pull it up real quick for you. So good question on that one. So again, for those of you that don't know, I tend to be mostly a very creature and aggro person. However, usually when I actually play in my spare time and actually in real paper, it is one of my favorite cards. So let's see. I can pull it up real quick for you. Hold on one second. Hold on. It's coming up. It's coming up. There we go. There we go. So yeah, Lightning Bolt here. Classic. One of my favorite cards. Such a clean design to that. Look at that. Send 3 damage, any target at instant speed. Granted, of course, it sadly does not make its way into standard, but I would love to see this card make its way back to standard one day. I mean, honestly, with the power level that we have for standard right now in other formats, this card, honestly, I feel like this card is safe enough to actually put back into the regular format. But again, some people disagree with me on that. Let me know in your comments, of course, if anybody likes to say, like, is this a card that you think is too powerful for regular standard format? But again, I think it's amazing. I love it. Again, it's a perfect representation of my style of playing Magic. Thanks again for asking for that, Corrupted Elliot. Again, hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, so real quick, let's just jump back to the actual deck itself. You subbed. It also looks so cool. It does, it does. And thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Hopefully, again, we can, of course, stick with us for the rest of this stream. But in any case, let's go ahead. Let's continue the rest of the deck because I do want to get this going so we can actually play as many games as possible. Oh, wait, hold on one second. This is the upgraded version. We'll actually talk about the upgraded version a little bit later on, but don't worry, we will get to that. So real quick, let's pull this back up again. There we go. Okay, where were we at? Oh, yeah, that's right. We were in the 2 drops. So we'll also have additional more, we have a little bit more going on here with Caustic Bronco here, a Snake Horse Mount. When this creature attacks, you can then dig out the top card of your library and put it into your hand. You will, however, lose life equal to that card's mana value unless if this card is saddled. So kind of like our, what is it, I guess a pseudo version of Dark Confidant here. Really good for the deck and again, perfectly on flavor. Deadly Dispute will make us sacrifice an artifact or creature, but we can draw 2 cards and get a treasure token out. So this is actually pretty good for us, just to help us dig through our deck. Drown and Ichor here, -4/-4 until end of turn to a creature, and then we can proliferate. So again, if we can get some poison counters, really good for us in extra value as the game goes on. We'll have a ton of extra spot removal, because again, this is a budget deck itself. So if you actually do want to put this together, I think the price for this is $70 right now in only, what is it? I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's 10 rares. So that's actually pretty cheap for arena players out there. What's the difference between the two? Wait, and what question? Sorry, I might have missed what you were asking there, Corrupted Elliot. What's the difference between the two in terms of what, the cards, or like, was it a card I kind of hovered over real quick? Let me know. I'll continue on until I can have you kind of reply back. So anyways, while Corrupted Elliot takes the time right now to answer us real quick there, Feed the Swarm here. Sorcery speed, so it is a little slow, but it does work for us. Destroy a creature or an enchantment we control. However, we will lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. Heartless Act here at instant speed allows us to destroy a creature with no counters on it, or we can remove 3 counters from a target creature. Oh, the decks? Oh, good question. So Snake Waifu here, this one, so the style that I usually tend to do is I'd like to do for the first half of a stream, I like to talk about a budget version because I know, especially in recent times, Magic the Gathering is a very, very expensive game. And it is kind of like a bit of a shame because I would love to get more people into Magic, but I can understand the barrier to entry for Magic the Gathering is rather expensive. So my style, of course, is I like to do, of course, for the first half, a budget version of the deck. So this is affordable both in paper and also it's affordable here in Arena. So in Arena, you're only going to have to spend like about, for this version of the deck, maybe like 10 rare wild cards, which is actually fairly, I think that's fair. And then, of course, later on, we'll actually show you the upgraded version. So if you do want to spend a lot more rares and mythic wild cards, or if you actually want to spend real money, actually I can show you a much more stronger version of the same deck. So usually that's how we do it. First half, budget version. Second half, for those that are interested, an upgraded version. So it makes it fair for everyone to kind of, to give you at least a kind of a fair shot as to like, okay, if you like a deck, then maybe you want to invest a little bit more if you're interested. You're new to this, so you're learning. Okay, well, thanks again for joining us for that, and hopefully I can help you kind of learn a little bit more. So again, we'll put links for these deck techs once we're done with this stream. I'll usually put up, of course, a couple links at the very end of the details, so that way you can kind of look at them and kind of compare to see like, okay, do you like the budget version we played? Do you like the non-budget version? Are you willing to spend a little bit extra to make this a much more stronger deck? Or maybe you just want to keep it casual and just kind of have something simple and fun to play with. But thanks again for joining us on that. Appreciate that. So continuing on, let's go ahead, let's wrap up the rest of the deck because I do want to get us going to see how many games we can play. Necrogen community here is going to be 2 mana or an enchantment. Enchanted creature we control will get Toxic 2, so that means we can start putting poison counters if it hits. If the enchanted creature, however, dies, we can return that card to the battlefield under our control. So this is a nice way of also protecting our game plan here with Aphelia or anything else we want to put it on. Scourge of the Undercity here is a Gorgon vampire. It has lifelink, so it helps us stabilize. When this creature enters, another creature we control will gain lifelink until end of turn, so we can also give it some life and stabilizing. Sheoldred's Edict here, we can choose one at instant speed. So that means an opponent has to choose. They have to sacrifice either a non-token creature, a token creature, or a planeswalker. So that's actually kind of nice for us to kind of put our opponent in an awkward spot. Corrupted Elliot also asking, so if I would start, what would be a great starter? Oh, well, that's a good question. By the way, sorry for asking so many questions. No, you're good, man. I mean, again, my whole purpose again is, like, literally my channel is dedicated to trying to put out there as many budget decks and beginner-friendly style decks, so players like you, who maybe are trying to figure out, you know, what to play with, have, again, some good options without having to spend a little too much in terms of the game. But again, if you actually kind of take the time later on, I would say, you know, not to shill myself too much here, but go ahead and look through my channel later on. I do actually have one giant playlist of beginner decks. The beginner decks are great because you don't have to spend any heavy resources in this game if you want to just play something simple. And even if you actually like the decks to the point where maybe you do want to put them together, even in paper, the decks also that I have that are ultra beginner are pretty cheap. We're talking like, okay, well, maybe in terms of trading cards. I mean, most of my decks that are beginner budget friendly are averaging about maybe like between $20 to $35. So that's actually pretty good if you're a person that likes the game, but maybe you don't want to spend that much. That's okay though. Again, well, feel free to ask questions throughout the stream. I'm, of course, more than happy to answer anything you do want. Okay, we'll try for that. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll continue this Brawl deck, and then we'll try to get those games in. So let's see. Continuing on, we have Coiling Stalker here. Snake Ninja. It has Ninjutsu of 2. When this creature deals combat damage, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control, and that doesn't have a +1/+1 counter. So it can give us a little bit of extra pump here. Sneaky Toilet joining us over on Twitch there. Thanks again for joining us, my favorite friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. I think the cheapest and easiest and still very meta is Mono White Life Gain. Mono White Life Gain is pretty good. I actually did do earlier this week a actual we did have a deck tech on that. So if you're interested in Mono White Life Gain in standard, I have that of course ready to go. So that's actually pretty fun and a very easy to understand way to play the game. But we'll again, we'll try not to deviate too much here. Let's go ahead. Let's try to wrap this up here. So continuing on here, we have Finn the Fangbearer here. This is actually another one of our key pieces to help the deck get going here. He's a human warrior with Death Touch. Also, he has a really sweet ability here. Whenever a creature we control with Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, that player will get 2 poison counters. As a friendly reminder, if we can get 10 poison counters on an opponent, they will lose. So if we can get Finn to stick around. Aphelia also has Death Touch, and all of our snakes have Death Touch. That means we should be able to close it out with Finn the Fangbearer if he sticks around until we can just get a good clean hit in. Either way, it really does force our opponent to do some bad blocking. So actually a really good card for us and almost essential to make sure we can get a secondary win here. We do have some spot removal with Infectious Bite. We'll deal damage equal to a creature's power that we control to a creature we don't control, and the opponent will get a poison counter. So this can be great for us to kind of get rid of certain things we want off the field. Naga Violist here, 2 mana, 1/2 Snake Druid. It's a mana dork for us, so we could tap it to add 1 mana of any type that a land we control could produce. Orochi Merge Keeper here, tap it to add green mana, or if the creature is modified, add 2 green mana. So good for us for ramping. Speaking of ramping, we also have some ramp itself, like literally ramping growth itself. Dig out a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. We have Smell Fear here. Also has Proliferate. And then we can use this as a fight spell. So target creature we control will fight up to 1 target creature we don't control. Great for us to kind of push up against cards that maybe are a little too strong for us. But then we can use this to then maybe sacrifice a snake to then do some damage and get rid of a bigger creature. Tangled Fluorohedron here. You can either use it as a mana dork here as a 1/1 elemental, or you can just bring it in as a tap land however you need. Terror Sunder here is one of our stronger removal spells for artifacts and enchantments. You exile it. However, if you kick it for extra 2 mana, for 4 mana, you can then get rid of any non-land permanent. Unnatural Restoration here. For sorcery speed, bring back a permanent card from our graveyard to our hand and proliferate so we can start pumping up more counters. Speaking of counters, this is technically here the secondary commander to the deck. So if you are not too big of a fan of Aphelia here, you could swap out for this commander here, Hapatra, Vizier of Poisons. This actually was the key old school snake commander, but I know a lot of people like Aphelia now. Either way, both cards are great. This creature here is a human cleric. It's a 2/2 legendary that reads, whenever Hapatra deals combat damage to a player, put that many -1/-1 counters on a creature. Whenever we put 1 or more -1/-1 counters on a creature, we get to create a 1/1 green snake creature token with Death Touch. So we can start weakening our opponent's stuff and start putting out there a bunch of extra snakes that can also help out with our game plan. We'll have Arcane Signet here. Great, of course, just for just generating the mana we need. Swiftfoot Boots here. This gives our creature hexproof and haste, so that means we can put this on, say, like Aphelia to protect her from any spot removal our deck may throw, our opponent may throw at us. Words are hard, by the way. We have Boggart Trawler here. When this goblin enters, exile an opponent's graveyard, or you can use it as a land if we need to. Hooded Blightfang here, so there is a payoff here also for all those snake tokens we have, and also the other regular snakes. This is a snake itself with Death Touch, and it's a 1/4. Whenever a creature we control with Death Touch attacks, each opponent will lose 1 life, and we can gain 1 life. Whenever a creature we control with Death Touch deals damage to a Planeswalker, we also can destroy that Planeswalker instantly. So this is actually a great way to kind of spot removal and help us life gain and drain. Corrupted Elliot also asking, I'm starting to really like the game. What's the difference between common cards and rare cards if there are any? Oh, good question on that one. So we'll take a quick little pause here, everybody. So again, we got a newer player here, and that's totally cool. So common cards tend to be cards that are, you can pick up pretty easily. And again, as the name suggests, they're pretty common and easy to grab. Some common cards are pretty good, and a lot of common cards also tend to be a little bit meh. However, obviously, when you go stronger up the chain, when you get like rares and mythic rares, then this is when you get some really powerful cards. So cards that are rare, for example here, we'll take a couple of quick examples. So for example, let's look at Gutterbones here as an example of a good rare. So that's a Skeleton Warrior. He enters tap, so he can't really block for early part. However, what's nice about him and the reason why he's rare, for 2 mana, if he's in your graveyard, you can bring him back from the graveyard back to our hand, so you can reuse him later on. However, you can only activate this if your opponent has lost life in a turn. So what makes him rare and makes him strong is you can use him to sacrifice or maybe block later on in the game, and then later on you can activate his ability if you can make your opponent lose some life, so that you can keep reusing him. As an example of like something like a good rare card. If you're looking at something that's like a mythic, so mythics are higher than rares. So mythic rares are very powerful cards that can actually do some big stuff here. So for example, Aphelia here, our main card here that we're going to keep in our zone, she itself is a mythic, and the reason why is, as I mentioned earlier from her stats, she could do Death Touch, so that means if she does any damage to any creature, it instantly kills it. And also, her secondary ability allows us to create tokens, which also have Death Touch. So that means this is why she's a mythic, because she can also generate her own ability. And then finally, her a final ability allows us to then get really quick to kind of closing out the game against an opponent. So just as an example of, again, like some of the reasoning behind some of these rares, some of these mythics, they're just very powerful cards. But again, as the name suggests, they're harder to come by. So just be aware of, if you are going to play any decks in, for example, here Magic the Gathering Arena, Corrupted Elliot, some cards will be a little expensive and also hard to come by because you're going to have to use up a lot of your resources. So for example here, I'm a very avid player, but you can see right here from my collection of extra cards, I can generate right now 68 commons, I can make 36 uncommons, only 10 rares, and I'm down to 1 mythic rare. So that means I have to be very careful if I want to actually use more rares and mythics in a deck, because that means I'm going to run out of resources. So that's why I've been trying to be very careful with it. However, this is also the reason why, again, I emphasize play budget first, everybody. Before you go all in on a deck that you may like, it's good to kind of get a feel for the deck at budget level. And if you do like it, then upgrade. Because sometimes, and I've done this myself a couple times, I've made a lot of cool decks that I thought were amazing, and then I realized I wasted a lot of my resources. Like, I've wasted a lot of rare and mythic wildcards, and then I realized, oh dear, I can't, oh, actually, wait, we just got another follow there. Winter Dragon 1744 over on Twitch there. Thanks again for that follow there. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. But yes, so just to emphasize there, Corrupted Elliot, this is why I say right now, and I say this to everybody out there, even if you're a veteran player like I am, build your deck first with a budget in mind. Don't try to go all in immediately on the rares and mythics, because if you're like me, and I've made this mistake a lot of times, you sometimes end up getting a moment where you kind of regret putting together a deck and you're like, oh man, this deck actually is not that good. And then I realize, oh, then I can't undo any of the cards that I made. So just an FYI, but that's also the reason why I do these streams. So you can see cool decks that maybe you might are interested in, but maybe you don't want to spend that much on first off. But again, that's just how I see it. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's try to wrap this up, because I do want to get to some games right now. So let's see, where are we at here? Oh yeah, Infectious Inquiry. So this is sorcery. You can draw 2 cards and you'll lose 2 life. However, you can give an opponent a poison counter. So that helps us with the poison game plan. Rattleback Apothecary here, 3 mana, Gorgon Warlock. She also has Death Touch, so this still works with the game plan. Whenever we commit a crime, target creature we control gains the choice of Menace or Lifelink until end of turn. So for those that forgot, crime just simply means for this ability, if we target anything an opponent has, or an opponent itself or their graveyard, we're committing a crime, if you will. I do like that ability, though. Very easy to trigger off, by the way. Soul Coil Viper here, 3 mana, 2/3 Snake. No Death Touch on this, but it's still a snake, so it works for us. However, you can pay 1 life, sacrifice this, and tap it, and then bring back a different creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter. You can only activate the sorcery speed, but it still works for us because we could bring back something that died and bring back something stronger that we might need. Vraska's Fall here, 3 mana here, instant speed. Force an opponent to sacrifice a creature or a planeswalker, and they will get a poison counter. So this is actually good for us to kind of get something out there for them. Oh, Corrupted Elliot. I gotta go. Thanks for telling me all the information, Soul. Check out your channel more later. Oh, that's okay. Check us out whenever you can. Thanks again for joining us today, and hopefully, again, I helped you out a little bit on your journey of learning Magic a little bit more. Have a wonderful day, my fire friend, and always be sure to burn bright. Later. Okay, so now that we got that going, let's go ahead, let's continue on. We're going to try to wrap this up quick. Yuan Tang Fangblade. I'm sorry, wait, I cannot say that. Yuan T Fangblade here. There we go, that's better. 3 mana Snake Rogue. It has Death Touch and it's a 2/2. Anytime we deal combat damage to a player, venture into a dungeon. So dungeon mechanic is in play here. And then I don't want to explain the whole dungeon mechanic, but basically it just gives us another thing that we can use to trigger certain abilities that only this card can do. Still a cool card though. I do like it. Bala Get Recovery here. Bring back any card from our graveyard back to our hand, or you can use this as a tap land in a pinch. Bridgework Battles here. You'll notice that we have a lot of fight spells in this deck, and the reason for that, of course, is we want to make sure we can keep things out of the way and also keep our Death Touch creatures on our opponent's toes. So this gives a creature +2/+2, and we have to fight that other creature. Or, again, you can use it as a land. Carnivorous Canopy here. Again, more artifact and enchantment hate, and creatures with flying hate. If the permanent's mana value was 3 or less, proliferate. There we go. Got it down. Okay, Courage and Crisis here, sorcery speed, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control, then we get to proliferate. Entish Restoration at instant speed, sacrifice a land, and then we can dig out 2 basic lands and put them onto the battlefield tapped. However, if we control a creature with 4 power or greater, we can dig up to 3 basic lands and then put them onto the battlefield. So they're great for ramping. Kalani's Ambush, an instant speed version of the Bridgework Battles. You don't get the pump, however, but it does work at instant speed to fight another creature, or again, you can use it as a tap land. Sidewinder Naga here, 3 mana, 3/2, Snake Warrior. As long as we control a desert or there's a desert card in our hand, it gets +1/+0 and trample. Honestly, we don't really have any actual desert cards, so we don't really care about that ability. We just want it because it's a snake. Pitiless Gorgon here, 3 mana, 2/2, Death Touch. Simply put, just all clean. Vraska the Silencer here, another great Gorgon assassin here. She has Death Touch, and also it reads, whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, we can pay 1. If we do, return that card to the battlefield tapped under our control. However, it's a treasure token, so this is a great way to kind of steal cards from our opponent and turn them into resources we can use for ourselves. Staff of Completion here. This is actually a bit of a catch-all spell for us. So this artifact, we can pay 1 life to destroy a permanent we control, pay 2 life to add 1 mana of any color, pay 3 life to proliferate, pay 4 life to draw a card, or simply tap for, we can pay 5 mana and untap the artifact. So great for us to kind of start proliferating and doing some stuff. Oh, you're back. Welcome back. Okay. Glad to see you again there. Again, how you doing? Also, before I wrap this up, where are you from, by the way? I usually try to ask that from new viewers and subscribers here. Hailing from us from another around the world like some of our others do. Oh, you really want to see the match, so you want to say, okay, well, thanks for that. I appreciate your support there. Okay, so that means we got to wrap this up quick, guys, because I really want to get into this, and I don't want to spend too much time over-explaining the deck. It's more fun, of course, to see it in action. But real quick, Feed the Infection, 4 mana, sorcery. Draw 3 cards, we lose 3 life, so that is a little bit painful. However, if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters, they will lose 3 life. Fell the Profane here, instant speed, destroy a creature or planeswalker for 4 mana, or you can use it as a land. Expand the Sphere here. Dig 6 cards deep into your library. Pull out 2 land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped, and then to the rest onto the bottom of our library. If you only got less than 2 lands, you can put the difference down and proliferate with the difference. Binding the Old Gods, another great card for us here. Destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls. Dig out a forest card for the second part of the saga, and the third part, creatures we control gain Death Touch, which is a little redundant with our deck, but in case of any creatures don't have Death Touch, great for us to finish off our opponent. Death Sprout here, destroy a creature, and then later on we can dig out a basic land, so it's kind of ramp and removal for us. Noxious Assault here, sorcery speed. Once we get a giant board of snakes out, give all of the snakes +2/+2 until end of turn, and anytime a creature gets blocked, they will also get a poison counter attached to our opponent. So this is a great way to kind of force through the remaining points of damage. Kind of a good finisher for the deck. Tamio's Journal here, a card that a lot of people probably have forgotten, but it is here. So Tamio's Journal is a 5-mana legendary artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get to investigate, which means you get to create a clue token. The clue tokens, as a reminder, you sacrifice the clue tokens for 2 mana to draw a card. So it's a nice kind of slow but good draw engine for us. Sacrifice 3 clues if you want to dig out any card you want and then put that into your hand. So it can be a good way in the late game to kind of pick out certain cards you do need. We actually do have a good payoff for those clues, however, with Persuasive Interrogators. 6 mana, so it's a little expensive, but it's a pretty solid thing here. When the creature enters, investigate, so it creates its own clue token. Anytime you sacrifice a clue token, you give an opponent 2 poison counters. So this is kind of like our quick little way of getting out some extra clues and then using them with the Interrogator to give out poison counters. Vraska Betrayer String. So one of our big finishers for the deck here. She has completed, and she's technically 6 mana, but you can also change it and kind of cheapen her out with 1 completed mana. So that means you have to pay 2 life to make it a 5-drop. Either way, pays activate its 0 ability to draw a card, and you'll lose 1 life. But you can proliferate. So as long as you get a poison counter on our opponent here, you should be able to start slowly adding more poison counters as the game progresses. -2, however, to turn a creature into a treasure that you can use. So this way you can turn off an opponent's creature and then make it into simply a resource that doesn't do anything to us. But again, it's really good for us. -9 is its ultimate ability. That means if a target player has fewer than 9 poison counters, you basically make up the difference there, whatever it may be. Remember that again, we just want to get to the magic number of 10, so this can pretty much kind of close out the game against opponents if they let us have it. Finally, Disciple of Freyalise here, 6 mana, Elf Druid. It doesn't have anything to do with the deck, however, we want it for one reason. If this creature enters, we sacrifice another creature. If we do, we gain life and draw X cards, where X is the creature's power. So this is a great way to refuel for us into the mid or late game. Or if you need to, in the early game, just make it a land. Speaking of lands, this is what we're going to be rounding ourselves out with. Again, it is a budget deck, so we're going to be rocking 9 swamps, 9 forests. Bajuka Bog here just exiles his opponent's graveyard, and all the cheap dual lands that come in tap. So Dark Moss Bridge, Festering Gulch, Haunted Mire, Jungle Hollow. Heir to Archway can bounce back a land if we need to, and then that means we can reuse it later on. Command Tower is a staple for decks like this. Demolition Field destroys non-basic lands. And of course, our other basic fetch lands are Escape Tunnel, Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, Riveter's Overlook. We have a Karn's Bastion to proliferate. And finally, Scene of the Crime as an artifact land. That's also a clue that you can sacrifice later on to draw a card. Whew, okay, finally we got through the whole deck, everybody. Thanks again, as always, for hanging on there for me. I always apologize that it takes so long, but again, anytime we play Brawl decks, it tends to take a while. MTG Hillbilly, hello and howdy, my fire friend. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, you're just in time. We're finally going to get to the actual deck itself, so we're going to be playing with our Snake Waifu deck here. Hopefully that's not too much of a cringe title for us. I mean, if it doesn't work, I also can just call it basically Snake Waifu, but you know, I'm trying to stay hip with the kids, you know what I'm trying to do. How am I doing? I'm doing great, by the way. Right now we're just gonna see if we can just play a little bit of casual here, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around all of the Omen Path cards that are coming to us. So again, for those that forgot, Spider-Man does come out in 2 weeks in paper, but remember on Arena, I'm assuming it's a licensing issue. We won't be getting the Spider-Man cards. We'll be getting Magic's version of them. So I'm still trying to take my time right now to wrap my brain around every single card that I kind of have to look at and then re-look at, because, you know, you look at the previews for Spider-Man, but the Arena cards are not Spider-Man. So it's very confusing me to try to figure out how to explain decks once the time comes. I'm sure we'll figure it out. I'm sure you also are probably going to get confused too. Am I right? You've been ranking with Mill? Honestly, like, Mill decks have actually taken off quite a bit, so I've been shocked as to how strong they are. Maybe I should be playing more Mill in ranked. Because right now in ranked matches, I've been completely getting wrecked to the point where I'm just kind of getting very frustrated. But we'll worry about that later on. Let's see. Okay, so we'll get our Command Tower out. Let's get that out first. And we'll get Moss Viper. 1 snake out. Okay, let's see if we can try to do this. Corrupted Elliot asking, so does every card have a counter, or do most of them do some, while some don't? Oh, also a good question. So not every card's going to do a counter or anything, Corrupted Elliot. It kind of depends on, again, what your strategy is. So our strategy is focusing on trying to build counters, because that's how we want to win with our deck. Some counters, and some decks, like White, will focus on life gain. Some decks like red are going to focus on aggro plants, so they want to be super fast and super aggressive. Some decks want to focus on card draw and manipulating your deck, your library, and countering opponent's stuff with like blue. And black is mostly a color that kind of does a little bit of everything, but also it comes at usually a cost of some kind. Coiling Stalker. Let's swing here. Down to 24. Okay, so we got the first hit on our opponent. They're down to 24. We're still at 25. Looks like they're playing Kotis, so we'll see if we can get around that. Play Scene of Crime. Let's get Aphelia in now. Okay, so our Snake Waifu is in. Down to 21. Oh, okay, so we can start putting counters on stuff. That's good. So we'll start pumping up here Aphelia here, so she'll become a 2/4 now, so she's getting a little stronger. Patient Naturalist. MTG Hibble, you're doing early access on the 17th? Okay, well, nice. Once again, I got snubbed, but that's okay. I'm going to keep bugging Wizards to hopefully maybe someday do early access. Maybe I could do it for Avatar. That's actually a set that I actually look forward to a lot because I love Avatar The Last Airbender. I love that series a lot. Maybe, hopefully, I'll get a chance for that. But I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun doing that. Okay, so let's see where we at here. What do we want? Okay, let's do it this way. We'll put a +1/+1 counter on our creature here. And we get to proliferate. We will also... I guess we don't need this Disciple right now, so we'll play it tapped. Let's get a swing here. No making tokens right now. We're just simply trying to be aggro here. We're going to start pushing damage against our opponent. Do they block? Ooh, they block the Moss Viper. Okay. Opponent goes down to 14. Remember that Death Touch will destroy that creature, so now we got it out of the way. Okay, another land for opponents. Yeah, I gotta be a bugger sometimes. I mean, you're not wrong. Okay, opponent's playing Kiora. They draw 2, and they will discard 2. We want to make sure they don't trigger off making octopus tokens, but they're at 6 right now. Oh, okay, there we go. Beautiful here. So we have Vraska's Fall. That's actually perfect for us. Vraska's Fall forces our opponent to lose Kiora. Now they get 1 poison counter, so we actually have our game plan set to go, just in case. Still can't make snake tokens, but that's okay, because we're doing heavy damage here to our opponent. Alright, they're down to 7. Okay, opponents, you're running out of time. You are definitely running out of time. Can we close this game out here and now? We have still Scene of the Crime. We can't do the Fatal Push or the Revitalizing Repass, but they are here in case we need to start pumping up stuff. Oh. Okay, our opponent right now is trying to do this shenanigans. Okay, so they're going to start making tokens there. Stone Cold. Oh, that actually might be good here. Let's see. Let's see. We'll do it this way. Stone Cold Serpent for 4. It's actually pretty nice for us. So if we can just keep this alive, maybe this might be our key piece here to get our victory. Okay, so no attacks yet. So now our opponent has walled us a bit with Cosmo here, and it's going to start making tokens. We need to find a way, our sacrifice piece to get this out of the way, but I don't know if we can. We'll try, though. Ugh. Very annoying card to deal with, though. Okay, opponent's playing now Kotis, so that means, let's see, once during each turn, you can cast a creature card from the graveyard by exiling. Okay, so if they exile 3 cards from the graveyard, they can start casting cards from the graveyard. That's going to be annoying. Let's see if we can try to find a way around that. The good news, of course, is Stone Cold Serpent can push through multicolored creatures, so that's actually pretty good for us. Okay, Kiora. Draw 2 cards, they're going to discard 2. MTG Hillblade, wish I could refer you to Wizards so you can do early access. I mean, that's okay. I usually always assume that I'm never going to get acknowledged by them, and that's okay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe I'm just a spicy person. Maybe I'm just not, I don't know, maybe I'm not big enough in their eyes, or maybe I just don't bug them enough. It's not a huge deal for me, because I have, again, so many ideas that I always like to experiment with when it comes to budget decks. So, not a big deal. It's all good, though. Feed the Infection. So we're going to draw 3 cards. We will lose 3 life here, but that's a small price to pay just to make sure we can keep our game plan going. Okay, draw 3. Okay, lose 2. Or, sorry, lose 3. Evolving Wilds. So we'll sacrifice that and dig out a basic land. Okay, so what do we get here? I guess we'll get a Swamp. Can't push through damage just yet with Stone Cold Serpent, but we do have Zephyr Boots, so that actually might help us beat our opponent down soon. Nope. attacks yet. Opponent is just trying to build up a ton of extra stuff with Coma here. So let's see. How do they do this? Tap target permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated this turn. Okay. This actually might be a problem for us, because if our opponent starts sacrificing serpents, that could turn off everything we're going to do here. We'll try. Coma is going to be a pain to deal with. We'll try. Bug them at least once or twice a week. Just my opinion. Okay. I mean, you're probably right there. I don't bug them enough. But again, I'm so busy with so many other things in my life, I keep forgetting to actually hit that button to say, hey, Wizards, I want early access to your stuff. Get me in on this so I can start doing some real good fun streamer stuff. Okay, so opponent swinging. Wait, does our opponent know that we can just block with Stonecoil Serpent? Okay, so let's do it this way. Stonecoil here. Okay. It has protection from multicolored opponents, so you can't do any damage to it. So this actually kind of provides us a cute little blocker for the time being. For now, at least. Okay, so in the meantime... Oh, we have Drowned in Air card. That's actually kind of nice for us. So with that, how do we do this here? First off, Fatal Push away. Say, Coma can't do anything with it right now. We can put down Zephyr Boots. Okay, let us see if we can attach the Serpent here. Does our opponent actually activate? We can also weaken this if we need to. Okay, so they do let us have it. That's good. We swing here. Free damage. Down to 3. We will draw a card. Okay, and we have to discard a card too. We'll just throw away the forest there. So, we actually are close to getting a victory here. We just need to get around all these serpents. We do have one Heartless Act. So that might be our only other saving grace. So at this point, we might sacrifice Aphelia here just to make a block here. We have only one shot to do this, though. MG Hillbilly, they started doing it different now. You used to have to download another arena account. Now they just give you a token to use and use it on your own account. Well, that sounds a lot more convenient now. Good to know for the future, though. But again, hopefully, maybe if not gonna make it for Spider-Man, we'll definitely do it. I'm gonna start bugging him like crazy because I really want to get in on Avatar. I really want to. Corrupted Ellie, I gotta go for now. Thank you, though. Okay, well, for reals, if you are piecing out for now, again, one more time, thanks again for joining us. Check out the channel again if you do want to check out some more budget stuff that actually will be fun, but also affordable for everybody. Again, have a wonderful day, and again, always be sure to burn bright. Later. Okay, opponent's got Seed Ship Brood Tender, so they will mill 3. Okay, so they can sacrifice this later on to bring back Spacecrafter Creature. Huh. Maybe we should be playing this card. I feel like I should play this card in my Greasefang deck. Looks pretty good. You can actually bring back... I mean, you can't bring back vehicles with it, but bringing back Spacecraft actually is pretty good. Okay, what's our opponent bring? Old Gnawbones. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Not good. Maybe we will someday. Hopefully. There was one time, actually, I remember playing, like, on a drive home. Like, I was in the passenger seat with, coming back home from another location. It was hilarious because there was a person that added me on, over on, well, I guess at the time it was Twitter. But, I mean, it was funny because I recognized the name of the person. And I was like, wait, I follow this person on Twitter. And it was hilarious because we were playing Limited together. It was kind of hilarious. Small world, by the way. Small world. Okay. Opponents. Okay, so that means they tap it. Okay. Does that mean we lose here? Oh, we lose, don't we? Okay. So they will tap that down. Toots. Alright, well, we tried, everybody. I mean, I can still Heartless Act away Coma. They can sacrifice their other Serpent here. But that's pretty much it. They're dead. I mean, we're dead. We're so dead. Okay, sacrifice it. Yep. So nothing happens. Coma alone, everybody. Man, I don't like that card at all. But it beat us, so we will take the first L here. That's a shame. But that's okay, everybody. Not a big deal. Because, again, it's just Brawl. So there's just not really any rank to Brawl. It's just us having fun here and just chilling out. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's try again. Snake Waifu, I believe in you. I know we can get some wins with this deck. So that's what I'm hoping to get today. At least a couple of wins with it would be great. But either way, even if we don't get a win with a budget deck, we will upgrade to the non-budget one once we get to about halfway through the stream. So otherwise, what's everyone's opinions right now on that are watching again? I know I've been asking this on every stream, but I'm going to keep asking until the set drops out. So what have been your thoughts so far on Spider-Man? What are your thoughts on the Through the Omen Paths version we'll get on Arena? Do you like the style? Do you dislike it? Do you wish that we actually got the Spider-Man cards on Arena? Or maybe you're not a fan of Spider-Man at all. Let me know, everybody. I am curious to hear what everyone's thought process is. I'll put up a poll coming up, and I kind of want to... I might do a video on it maybe just before release. I don't know. We'll see. I would like to see what everyone overall's just thought process is. I've been hearing a lot of opinions back and forth. I've heard a lot of spicy stuff, and I've also made my own comments about it. Actually, remember, I forgot I did a video almost a year ago on my opinions at the time for the Spider-Man set. But yeah, let me know, everybody, what your thoughts are on that overall. In the meantime, let's see, what are our opponents playing? Let's see. Oh, Nirev, Heart of the Storm. I forgot about this card too. This is actually a pretty cool card too. Hopefully maybe we can squeeze this in. There's definitely a lot of cards over this past year that I have completely forgotten about. And I'm hoping that maybe we get I'll see if we can try to squeeze in some more streams with more cards from the past that I haven't had a chance to play with. Obviously, we do play with whatever's current, but sometimes I do mix it up like today, and I try to do a little bit more of the stuff from the past. Okay, opponent, you there? Hello? Opponents? Hello? Opponents? Maybe they disconnected. I don't know. Or maybe they went to go get something? I'm not sure. Okay, let me get a little swig of water here. Give me just a moment here. Always make sure to stay hydrated, everybody. MTG Hillbilly. Not much synergy between all the Spider-Man cards. I will say, I'm, again, not a fan of it really, realistically, but it is coming. So, and again, I'm just going to have to work with it myself. I will say, though, I do commend, at least, if nothing else, the fact that they really tried to make an in-universe version of every Spider-Man card that is coming in paper to Arena in a way that at least tries to do some form of, I guess I would say, like, cohesion. Because Through the Omen Paths version we're going to get, it just feels like a core set. I mean, that's probably the simplest. It just sounds so goofy. Because, yeah, they were like, hey, let's make we can't do Spider-Man, so let's just do it as a core set. And that's really how it feels for me for it. That's not a bad thing. I actually do like the cards. The in-universe ones actually are hilarious, though. I mean, trying to figure out how to make 50 spider cards work is it's an interesting task. But I do agree with that. The synergies feel very meh. Like, I unironically wanted to make a new spider deck with actual, like, in Magic spiders. They sadly don't have that many synergies with that. So, I don't know. I'm scratching my head. I've been trying to come up with ideas, but this set's going to be a tricky one for me. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it, but we'll try. I'm sure you have your own fun ideas of decks that you want to do. I only like the Spider-Man art on the cards only. I mean, that's fair. I mean, the treatments, at least for the... no, I guess our opponent wasn't there. Oh, well. Free win for us. Make sure to get your dailies done, everybody. Always get your dailies done. Doesn't matter how you get your wins, as long as you get them. But yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, the art is not bad. I have nothing against anybody that actually does want to play Spider-Man as Magic the Gathering decks. Again, no hate on that, everybody. You all play what you want. I've always been a person that says, hey, you want to play with alchemy cards, go nuts. If you want to play with, you know, the SpongeBob cards, the Sonic the Hedgehog ones, I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of it too. I do have actually across my channel, I do buy sometimes cards that are representative of other IPs that I actually enjoy. But if I had to, I guess I would say, if someone told me like, hey, we can just revert Magic to just pure Magic again, I actually would give up all of my Universes Beyond cards just to make Magic what it is. Again, nothing wrong with having them in. It's just, I don't know, this set just rubs me the wrong way. It really kind of does. And again, this is how I feel about it. I hope that the in-universe versions of the cards will maybe get a little bit more lore and a little bit more love once more people catch on to it. But we'll see what happens. I'm just hoping that for everyone's sake, at least something good will come of this. I don't even know how to even explain that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling about this. Because I know everyone's like, I've had people that also kind of push back and saying, you know, like, oh, Infernoman, you just sound like an old man. You just sound like a person that just doesn't get it. Oh, I get it. I know that this is just where it's going to go in the future. It's not where I want it to be, but it is what it is. So, I mean, if I want to keep playing Magic, I will have to learn a little bit about, you know, what's coming up. Okay. Coiling Stalker again. So let's see. They got Replicating Ring. They're playing Alendra, Saint of the Dusk. Okay. Oh, they have a Dismember. That's annoying. Okay, that's fine. Coiling Stalker. Okay. Replicating Ring doing its thing. So, we actually get that off. Here comes Alendra. She has Hexproof from Instance, which is such an interesting ability. I don't even know what to say to that, but okay. Let us put Aphelia down. And then I guess Terra Sunder. Slow him down a little bit. No attacks. So if Aphelia can start dealing combat damage, we can start putting -1/- counters on Alendra, and that slowly should be able to weaken her enough. We'll see. Oh, let's see. No blocks. They might have a combat trick. All right, back up to 25. Kalani's Ambush. That might be helpful for later, but at this point, I think we'll just get down to Aphelia. Nice. We managed to get that combat damage in, so we'll start weakening Alendra here. And we'll start pumping up Aphelia. Nice. And also we get to put down the Snake. So that's good. There we go, everybody. So there you go. With both your main commander or your secondary commander, you can see where the game plan now works with us. So Alendra dies. Yes. All right. We managed to take control of this game here. Okay, Moss Viper. That's cute. Let's put down Snake. Oh, Soul Coil Viper. And we'll put down Moss Viper. All right. Our Snake Mommy. Snake Waifu. Doing her thing. Let's see. We will... Okay, hold on. We don't want to do this realistically. Let's see. Decline. There we go. Gotta make sure I actually don't put -1/- counters on my own creature, but I mean, I have a choice here. Opponent has not done anything. Are they out of options? We'll pay the 2. All right. The snakes keep coming, everybody. All right. Decline. And we'll pass here. Okay, opponent. I mean, I'm assuming they have to have a Wrath. That's what I'm assuming right now. If they have a Wrath, Gift of Estates. Okay. Do they have anything else? They could still have something. They might have the tapped Wrath. I guess we'll find out here. Did we stabilize, or are we going to get blown away? And we at least have options to bring stuff back. Cecil Dark Knight. That doesn't do it. That doesn't do it. Ooh, Authority of the Consoles? Okay. That's it? Okay, here we go. Okay, so we can do this here. Alright, so let's see. Put this on. Coiling Stalker, why not? Submit. Pump up. And then we will put the Sapphire Boots on Hapatra. Alright, let's just... Actually, you know what? Let's get all attacks in. You know what? We'll just do it. Let's just do it. That was just an easy win there. Victory for us. Alright, first win of the day, everybody. Yeah. Alright. Nice. Alright. There you go, everybody. So we were able to show off the deck right there doing its thing, so I'm happy about that. At least we got one win there. MTG Hillbilly, I kind of hate that we will not get any Marvel cards on Arena. I will say, even if I'm not a big fan of having Spider-Man come to Magic the Gathering, at the very least, it would have been at least nice to have consistency by actually having them in Arena. But unfortunately, I'm guessing due to licensing issues with the Walt Disney Company, and I'm guessing Marvel itself with, what was it, Marvel Snap, or whatever contract they have, it's the reason why we're in this very awkward situation we're in. So it is kind of confusing and clunky for people that actually are like, oh man, I actually do like the Spider-Man cards. Let me play this on Arena. And they find out, oh, I can't play it in Arena. So I can understand that's a very annoying thing that we're all going to have to deal with. But again, like I think this is going to be more of a content creator problem than it is like a regular normie problem. Just for the fact that just trying to go bouncing back and forth between, you know, what's the paper version and then what's the Arena version. But yeah, it sucks. I really wish we had to do it this way. Just give us consistency. Hasbro should have just paid the extra money just to allow it to be on Arena. Or either that or at least, or if it's on Disney's side with Marvel, at least they should have been more nicer to be like, hey, if we're going to agree to this, we got to go all in. Don't do the lazy way of just like, okay, you only get paper, you don't get the digital ones. I mean, that's just how I see it. But again, not at that level, so I have no idea how that deal went by. So we're all just going to have to deal with that as it is. Oop, hold on one second. Hold on one second. There we go. Alright, so that's gone. No. Say no to the actual... No scammers, please. Okay. Now we got that out of the way. Okay, so what are we playing against? Tevel? Alright, here we go. Sorry, trying to gain my composure again, everybody. Pick your poison. That's actually kind of nice for us. So let's see. Put some insurance on top of Aphelia here. Pick your poison. They sacrifice an artifact. There we go. If you do something, you should do it and not do it halfway. I totally agree with that. Alright, 2 poison counters. So we can start now getting poison counters on things thanks to Aphelia here. But yeah, I have to agree. If we're going to get Marvel and we're going to get Spider-Man, because again, we have more Marvel sets that are coming out soon. Just give us all the cards. Because this means that now, I would argue that in the future, if it's going to be like this with Spider-Man, in the future, that means every single Marvel set that will come out on paper, like I'm guessing what? We're going to get, obviously, they have to do tie-ins for X-Men, the Marvel superheroes like with the Avengers. Just give us all the cards. Put them on Arena. Spend whatever money you have to, Hasbro. Don't do this the lazy way, because then it's just very awkward for all of us as players out there. But again, it is what it is. Okay. Aphelia might actually do it here on her own. Okay. We'll pass here. Okay. So opponent's got 4 poison counters, so we might get the poison win here. At least I hope we will. That actually would be a fun way to do this. We have Anoint with Afflictions now fully turned on with Corruption, so even if they bring in Tevel or they try to do any kind of indestructible shenanigans, we can totally hose them. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is just beautiful. This is what we came here for. Sanitarium, Skeleton, okay. Got a cute little skelly. All right, we got another swamp here. Anoint with afflictions. Say goodbye. Too bad, opponent. Okay, so we probably won't get any poison counters from this block here, but it is what it is. Let's just sacrifice a swamp. We'll get out two swamps. Swing here. Blocking opponent, I'm guessing. Wait, they blocked the snake token? Really? Huh. I thought they would have blocked Aphelia. Okay, well, sure, opponents. I don't mind that block. I mean, that's okay with me. I think our opponent probably didn't think that one through, but that's okay. I mean, we've all made our mistakes like that, so it is what it is. Okay. Let's see. Opponents. Still got quite a few cards in hand. We're running out ourselves. Oh, a question again for everybody out there that is watching, whether you're watching live or on the replay. So what are your decks playing right now? What format you're currently playing in? Are you playing right now standard? Are you waiting for VB to get actually banned out of standard? Or are you waiting for the next set of cards before you maybe try them out in a different format? I've honestly been all over the place myself, but I haven't really picked a deck that I actually like. But I want to hear from all of you, like, what is everyone else playing out there right now? Something that you're enjoying, something you're brewing, just something that you are having fun with. Okay, Death Sprout. Blown away. Hey, actually, we got to use that. Put out Forest. And I guess we'll put out Tangle Floor and Hedron as is. Alright, we're close. Up to 8 opponents. You're almost gone. I'll take poison for 100, Jim. It's looking that way. And we can still... Okay, so our opponent did replay Tebble here. Alright. They got 2 treasures open. Okay, well now they got 3 mana open. 3 cards left. What are they going to play? Oh, okay. Alright, they play the skeleton. So they make a druid token. Okay, that's cute. Poison counter. And this is going to be the win right here, everybody. We actually got the poison win right now. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy we got this down. Yes. All right, -4/-4. We don't care if it doesn't kill it because all we just want is that poison win. There you go, everybody. Snake Waifu for the victory with poison. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was beautiful. That was our win con, or at least our alt win con to this deck. All right, we managed to get off 1 with that. I'm really happy about that one. All right. Okay, well that felt really good. We were able to at least get 2 wins back to back. One with just snake tokens, and this one was the actual poison win. So yeah, it actually can work. However, as we are now hitting the halfway point of the stream, what if we take this deck to the next level and upgrade it? So if you do want to invest a little bit more, maybe you got a lot of extra rares and mythics you actually do want to spend, you like what the deck is doing, let's show you again what I would recommend for you to make this deck even stronger than it currently is. Bare minimum, if you do want to make this deck stronger as always, please upgrade your mana base first. I obviously cannot stress that enough, but seriously. That'll, of course, give you the stronger consistency and better ways of casting all your spells on time. So with the upgrades to this land base, we'll get Phyrexian Tower here. You can sacrifice extra creatures to add some 2 black mana, so this can be good to ramp out at various points. A Boseiju here, just basically a free roll for us. You can discard a card with channel to destroy an artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land. We will also throw in all of the rare duels we can afford. So Blooming Marsh here, Darkmoor Pathway, Deathclap Glade, Llanowar Wastes, Nurturing Peatland, Overgrown Tomb, Restless Cottage here, Underground Mortuary, Wasteland Verge, and Woodland Cemetery. As far as the utilities, not many real upgrades for this. We will add in a Fable Passage now as a much more stronger fetch land for us. A Fountain Port here. This can utilize the extra tokens we have to draw more cards. We'll throw in a Mana Confluence here for better consistency with the mana base. As long as the Mirax here, we can also make some tokens with this for Phyrexian Mites. They can use those for a bunch of reasons. Prismatic Vista, also another stronger fetch land for the deck. And finally, Verdant Catacombs here is our best fetch land for the deck. You actually can add in the other fetches. You don't have to have it like it shows right here. It shows Golgari colors of black and green. That doesn't mean actually this can only go in the deck. You can use any fetches for any of your decks because they don't have the mana symbols on there that kind of restrict you to specific ones. I just do it this way just to kind of find a decent balance and to show you that there are many others you can use. But hey, boost it up however you want. Now, as far as the other upgrades I would give for this deck, if you actually want to really kind of take it to the next level, we'll kind of start from the top here. So in terms of other cards here that we want to upgrade, not too many things that are going to be heavy in the early part of the game, but just kind of circling back here, one of the best options for you, once we start, let's see, I'm trying to see where our other stuff is. Guys, I can never keep track of it myself. So in terms of upgrades here, we'll add in some much more better mana dorks. So we have Fanatic of Ronos here. It can tap into Garth for green mana. It's a 1/4, so good blocker. However, you activate Ferocious with it by having a creature with power 4 or greater. You can activate it for 4 green mana. So this can be a great way to kind of pump ourselves up a ton here. It also eternalizes, so that means if it dies, you can bring it back as a token, and that's actually good because it actually becomes itself a 4/4. So you can actually tap it for 4 green mana. So great for us. We'll add a Heroic Intervention, so this is going to be our way of protecting our whole game plan here by giving all of our permanents hexproof and indestructible. Sean O'Brien, hi, hello my fire friend joining us over on YouTube there. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, and then as far as the other upgrades to this deck, we're going to throw in Innkeeper's Talent here, a really good card for us because it'll slowly start adding +1/+1 counters to our creatures. If we get to level 2, gives all of them a little bit of protection with Ward 1. And then finally at part 3 here, this is the best part, if one or more counters we put on a permanent or a player, put twice that many counters of each kind that player would get instead. So this can actually speed up our poison game plan very quickly if our opponent is not careful. This also works with planeswalkers and ultimating them immediately. This gives us a really quick way of putting +1/+1 counters on all of our creatures. So that's a major upgrade for the deck. We'll have Inscription of Abundance here, so we can then choose this to either use this as a fight spell at instant speed, give us some counters, gain some life, whatever we need to. It's a great catch-all for us, and also you can kick it for an extra 2 mana. Lotus Cobra is an auto-include for this deck. Anytime we trigger the landfall ability, you can add 1 extra mana of any color, so good for us to just start ramping out. In terms of other upgrades in the 2-drop slot here, we'll also add in Hollowwork Merc Siege here. As the enchantment enters Sultai or Abzan, choosing Sultai means that anytime we get counter on a creature, we can draw a card. However, you can only do this once a turn. And then finally, Abzan here, anytime we attack, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, on a target attacking creature, and it gains menace. So good for us to kind of start pushing out more damage. The Meat Hook Massacre here, I really wish we didn't get the nerf here in Brawl, but it is what it is. Still a good Wrath for the deck here. Gives all creatures -X until end of turn. Unfortunately, if this was the real version, anytime a creature would control dies, we could then life gain and drain them. But because of the the Alchemy nerf, you can only make our opponent drain for 1 life. Still a good card though, and I would still recommend it for the deck. In terms of upgrading the 3-drop slot here, I'm trying to see right here, what did I miss? I don't think I really missed anything here. Oh, we actually do add in Prowling Serpapod here, so it's a cat snake. And also this means that not only can this spell be uncounterable, creature spells we control also can't be countered. So good for us against mono blue players out there. We'll throw in Archdruid's Charm. Same thing, instant speed, choose it. You can either use it to exile an artifact or enchantment, put +1/+1 counters on a creature we control, and then use its power to deal damage to a creature we don't control. Or we can use it just to dig out a land of any kind and put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you can put that card into your hand if it's a creature land you're digging out at instant speed. Farika, God of Affliction here, has Indestructible, so this is literally the god of snakes, so we had to throw it into the deck, of course. As long as our devotion of black and green is less than 7, it's not a creature. However, for 2 mana, you can then use this as Graveyard Hate. Exile a creature card from a graveyard, and that owner creates a 1/1 black and green snake enchantment creature token with Death Touch, so great for us overall. We'll add in, let's see, so for the 4-drop slot here, we also have some good stuff here. Enduring Tenacity, another snake, and it's a Glimmer as well. Anytime we gain life, an opponent will lose that much life, so we love that. If it does die, bring it back to the battlefield. However, it's no longer a creature, it's just an enchantment. So that's interesting for us to make sure we can still have something on the battlefield. You will add in Yagwa Thran Physician here. While he's not a snake, he does have the Proliferate ability, which can be very, very powerful for us. You pay 1 life and you have to sacrifice a creature, but you put +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature, and you get to draw a card. So good for us to kind of do a draw engine, and also start putting -1/- counters, which also goes very well with Hapatra here. Vraska Golgari Queen here. We also will throw in, so we can use this as also for flavor purposes. However, take her up for 2 to then sacrifice a permanent. We do gain 1 life and draw a card. Also take her down for 3 to destroy a non-land permanent with a mana value of 3 or less. And then finally, her ultimate ability, if we manage to make this go off, -9 to get an emblem where it reads, anytime our creature we control deals damage to a player, they will lose the game. So this can also be another way of providing us a backup win con for the deck. Finally, in the top end here, we have Rottenmouth Viper here. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you can sacrifice any number of non-land permanents, which makes it cheaper to cast. And then once it enters, put a blight counter on it. Then for each blight counter, each opponent will lose 4 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or they discard a card. So this is going to be a great way. Also, another finisher for the deck. And also with Proliferate, this card can get out of control if an opponent does not have an answer. Finally, our last major upgrade to the deck, the Great Henge. I mean, I just had to put this card in. While none of our creatures are huge, if we can still manage to get some counters on stuff, this will be cheaper to cast. And then finally, we can just use this as a really expensive mana dork to gain 2 life, add 2 green mana, and anytime a creature we control enters, non-token creature by the way, put a +1/+1 counter and draw a card. So a great way to finish off our opponent there. Woo! Okay, so let's give now the upgraded version of the deck a try. Let's see how well it does. And I think this also will be just as good. All right. Woo! Excuse me. Okay. So, all right, let's see. Can we get this going here? Can we get this going? I'm looking forward to this one here. It should be fine. Should be a lot of fun for us. Whew, all right. Let's see. We're going to be playing against... Oh, we're playing against a Tarmogoyf deck. That'll be interesting. Let's see. Okay, so we got the Meat Hook Massacre. We got Graveyard Hates. Terra Sunder. Okay. Nothing we can really play in the early game, but we can generate tokens anyway with Aphelia, so we should be okay. Okay, see it towards Proving Grounds. Mox Amber. Mox Opal. Oh no. Ugh. Opponent is not playing around with us here. We'll see, though, if we can get around it. Okay. Let's see. Shifting Woodlands. That's Mirror Corp. Okay. Opponent's not playing around. They definitely want us down. But we do have options here. We have Terra Sunder. So if we can, I think what we'll start doing is we're going to have to start getting rid of their artifacts and enchantments quick. So, Lily on the Veil. Alright. Opponent's probably going to tick down here. It's annoying, by the way. Yep. Alright. That will go back to the command zone. So we need to slow down our opponent here quick. Let's see here. Terra Sunder. We will get rid of Mox Amber. This does turn off now their Mox Opal, which is good, because we want it. Okay, Land of War Wastes. Nothing we can do for now. Opponent's going to keep milling. All right. We can get rid of their Liliana on the next turn as well. And also we have a Bogger Trawler here, so that's actually not... Oh, jeez. All right, what do they take away? Ugh. Not good at all. Oh, they took away the Meat Hook Massacre? Really? That's what you wanted, opponents?
Drop it.
Okay. That's fine, I guess. Throw away the Great Henge? Fascinating. Opponent's definitely making some very interesting moves here. Okay. Ooh. Finding the Old Gods. That could be helpful for 2. So, let's see. We'll get down a Forest. Okay. Put down Binding of the Old Gods. Get rid of Liliana.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
Okay. And then hopefully we can blow him away with Bogger Trawler here and then exile everything. So that gives us time. Barrow Goy. Okay. That's cute. Ugh. Not good. We dig out a forest, though, so this is kind of nice. Overgrown Tomb. Entrance tapped. Fountain Port. We will Bitter Triumph and pay 3 life. Barrow Goyf goes bye-bye. Carnivorous Canopy. Mesmeric Orb dies. Oh, we got him. All right. I was like, okay, little by little we'll just beat them down here, but okay. Well, they ran out of resources because we were about to blow away with Carnivorous Canopy into Bogger Trawler, and that would have hosed them completely. But okay, I'll take a win. I'll take the win. Win's a win. All right, so, I mean, the deck didn't get a chance to do much there, but this is the reason why we threw in a lot of spot removal for the deck. So blowing away an opponent's artifacts, enchantments, planeswalkers, we had no problem there. And then once we were going to get down that Graveyard Hates, oh man, it would have been game over for our opponent there. Even if we were only just going to coast on Aphelia herself. But okay, I will take it. No complaints there. All right, so let's do this, everybody. Let's go.
It's time to
Yeah, all right. All right, feeling it now. All right, feeling that momentum. So we got Bridgework Battles here. Urbro Greek Possession. We got a Karn's Bastion. That's cute. Okay, tap land. Opponent's playing Yarok, which is value train for days. We actually have played Yarok in the past, but we will see if that might be a problem for us. Let's see. What do we want? A tapped Bridgework Battles. Should be fine, right? Opponents. Verdant Catacombs. They're sacking it. Okay, they get out a Hedge Maze. Doing some surveilling. Get a Nurturing Peatland. That's cute. Aphelia. So early on, again, you don't have to play Aphelia super early. I'm just trying to do it just to kind of start putting pressure on our opponent once we can start doing snake tokens. Okay. Okay, opponent. Okay, so here's how we do this here. Okay. Let's get down, actually, Deathcap Glade. We will swing with Aphelia, pay the 2, make a snake token. Opponent, do you block? All right, they don't block. Whispers of the Dross. There we go. Hydra down. That's nice. Lotus Cobra. All right, so we got to get rid of that too. We will try to find a way. The good news, of course, is we have Veroska here, so that means we can actually start immediately taking her up by getting rid of snake tokens. Oh, okay. We also have other Veroska too. Oh, man. This is going to be good. Hurt ourselves for 1 there. We swing here.
Coming until it's too late.
Down to 21. We will... Actually, probably should get rid of that now. If they have a way of getting rid of our Veroska here, that's so be it. But that's a small price to pay to make sure they don't start ramping with Lotus Cobra. Tap land. Binding in the Old Gods. Ooh. So, Veroska bye-bye? Yep. That's annoying. That's okay. Not a big deal, everybody. We still have options here. Hurt ourselves. That's okay. We draw a card and proliferate. Swing. No damage yet, but that's okay. Down to 19. Opponent's going to dig out a forest now, and we'll see if this is going to be enough to stop us. Virtual Knowledge. Oh, wow, they double it up. So literally just doubling up everything. Mortuary. If Veroska does stick, that means their Yarok is going to be in trouble because we can just easily stop him with that. I also realized we can actually bring back... Okay, Tireless Provisioner. Boggart Trawler. Huh. Okay, so how do we do this here? Okay, turn that into an artifact. Sorry, opponent. You don't get to use that. Let's see. Let's try... So this time we will not pay. 17. Let's see. Wait, why can't we use this? Sorcery. Oh, it's because there's no creature in there. Okay, I see. I see. Prowling Serpapod. Underground Mortuary. Hooded Blightfang. We'll keep that on top. And we'll pass there. Okay. So, Death Touch doesn't do anything against us. But we were able to turn their Tireless Provisioner into a cute little treasure that can't do anything. Okay. Opponent. Anything else? Nice. We got Hooded Blightfang here. So with that... we're going to turn Yarok into a treasure too. Ooh, Heroic Intervention. Oh, okay. Well. Alright, well, that's cute. Hooded Blightfang. And let's see. Can't do anything else yet. No attacks. But we have protection of our own, so I still think we can get around this. Masker Worm. Okay, so let's see. Does anything we have die? Not really. So it just minuses one creature. Oh, wait. How did that? Oh, I'm dumb. I realize now it actually doubled up from the Yarok there. Okay. Well, I'm once again foolish because I do not pay attention to reading cards. So that means Vraska goes bye-bye. That's a shame. It's okay, though. We do have ways of still making it work. So, Urborg Repossession. Now we're actually going to need... We're really going to need this now. So, Hooded Blightfang. And what do we want back? Vraska. They only have one card in hand. I don't know what it is, but we should be fine. To Primo Anubis, subscribing over on YouTube there. Thanks again for that, my fire friend. Appreciate your support. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. As for me right now, oh jeez, they actually had a mana drain. Come on! No! Wow. I'm a little shocked. They actually had a mana drain. Of all the cards left in their hand, they actually had a mana drain to shut us down. Virtual Knowledge. Okay. So, double abilities. Forest. Let's see here. Bogger Trawler. Okay, exile everything. So at least they can't reuse anything, at least for now. How do we do this here? Smelfear is a sorcery. Pay the 1. Alright, can we do this here? Down to 19. One card in hand, opponent. What else do you have? There's no way you have anything else. Oh, offer you can't refuse? Wow, okay. Well, I mean, we still have a backup plan to that. So with that, Masker Worm dies. Okay. We do lose 2 life off of that, but that's a small price to pay. Okay. Swiftfoot Boots. So we can't target Yarok, but that's okay. Block here. We lose him. That's okay. Can we do this here? Oh, Infectious Bite. Okay. Desperation time. Come on, one of our Edict effects has to be out there. Soul Coil Viper. Alright. Make a token. Down to 21. So, theoretically, we still aren't dead, because our opponent only has now Yarok. As long as we can find a way to keep a snake token up, we can, in theory, beat her down. Or at least beat Yarok down. Can we do it, though? This is definitely a tricky one. Oh. Opponents? They did know that it's not indestructible, right? Okay. I wasn't sure how that was going to go, but okay. So, let's see. Activate ability now. Okay, we will pay. Alright, there we go. Drain them out by that much. Okay, phew. So, let's see. And then I guess we will sacrifice here. Get Blightfang. Okay. This is somewhat working. Okay, so they're going to have to pay a lot for Yarok to come out. They have 1 card in hand, though. Grim Tutor. Oh. What are they getting? If it's a Wrath, we're so going to be dead here. Down to 8. Damnation. Yeah, I figured. Alright, back to the command zone you go. Yuan T Fangblade. So. Okay, Aphelia coming down again. Whew. Well, this can still go anybody's game here. Oh, wait, hold on. Full control. Here's why. Opponents. Submitting. No way, opponents. Yeah, that's the clutch play right there. Phew. Ooh, that was way too close. Okay, so we will keep up the pressure here. Down to 7. We have a lot of snakes now. Okay, so opponents. Still trying with Yarok. They're not giving up. I mean, they could put the Swift Boots on it. That's perfectly fine, too. Oh, wow, Desperation Swing. Wait, why are they doing that still? Did they just give up on us? I mean, they gained 10 life, but that's not a huge deal for us because we literally could just draw it back here in a bit. Okay. Activate our ability. Down to 6. Drain them out. And then scry 1. Oh, we also got our own Swiftfoot Boots. That actually might be helpful for us. So we can sponge a hit here. They're down to 3. 8, that's 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They don't have enough to actually cast Yarok anymore. They need something else. Oh, Crater Hoof. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. I can't believe that. We actually lost. Wow, what a way to end it there. Wow. I'm a little shocked. I was not expecting a loss like that. That was a heartbreaker. Wow, we came so close, but okay. Well, no point in getting upset over that. But wow, what a game. That was actually a pretty good one, though. Even if we did lose, that was a pretty good game. That's all I can say. Yeah, I'm a little salty, but wow. I was not expecting that as our way of losing. Out of all the things, a Crater Hoof Behemoth like that's just one on its own. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten so greedy with the swing. But it's so hard because sometimes you have to decide, if I don't swing, do I get wrathed? If I do swing, do I lose from the back swing? I don't know. Sometimes you just can never predict it, everybody. But it's okay. Gonna get our game face on. We're gonna do this again.
It's time to
Yeah. All right, let's do this. Okay, so with that, let us get the Fellmire down. Okay, opponent, what do you got? We are playing against Riva Ivor, Bane of the Bladehold. Huh. Oh, they're a poison deck too, huh? This will be interesting. If nothing else. Okay. Aphelia first. At the very least, they can't start swinging willy-nilly. We also have Thran, though, so that might be an interesting option for us here. Oh, they have Painful Absence. All right. Early game removal. Joy. So they swing. They will get on us a poison counter to get this going. That's okay, though. We do have options here. Lotus Cobra. Tapped. We'll add 1 green. Using that for Prosthetic Injector. Alright, opponents. Swamp. Loran of the third path, so that does blow away our Injector. Okay. Do you swing, opponents? Dicey. Okay, they do not. That's good. So with that, we can... how do we do this here? Drown an Ichor. So they can't protect themselves. It would be another creature. That's good. Free swing here, because they're not going to block. Okay, down to 23. They need that, of course, because they're going to start drawing cards. But that allows us also to draw cards. Okay.
Okay, here come the mites. We will make black. We can Thran. I'm sorry, Yawgmoth Thran's position. And let's see. Nothing yet. No attacks. Okay, we need all of our cheap stuff to start going off here. Okay. Draw a card. Alright, opponent, what you got? Anything else? Okay. 5 cards in hand. Can we beat them? Banner of Kinship. Is this artifact? What does this do again? Okay. That might be a problem for us if we don't get rid of it quick. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna start swinging. Okay, Battle Cry triggers. This is gonna hurt, isn't it? Okay, so I don't even know what we're blocking here. Like, it's just might be a little too much for us. This is the one time we really need our spot removal. So now they have made 5 tokens, and I don't think we're gonna survive this right here. Got another forest. Make mana. I'm black. I mean, there's not really anything we can really do here. Even if I put down the Hooded Blightbane, we don't have any of our snakes to, with Death Touch, to start doing anything. Okay. Draw a card. Got 1 Moss Viper. Literally just 1. Okay. Yeah. I don't think we're going to survive this one. We'll just concede now. I don't like to, but I mean, let's be real. We were not going to win that one. It's okay, though. Not a big deal. It's all good. Okay, so look at the clock right now. We're now in the 3/4 through the stream itself, everybody. So I appreciate all of you out there. However, if you haven't already done so, and if you're watching live or on the replay, show us some love. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're watching the budget content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack opening, live streams like right now, and so much more. If you do want to show a little bit of love, in the details of this video later on, we will be adding up a link to our Patreon. We do have a bunch of extra videos on there. We'll be throwing up some more exclusive stuff, not only there, but also here on YouTube as well. So check out those videos as we'll start adding a little bit more members-only content. Or, for free, you can simply just join us on the Discord that we have. Those links, again, will be in the details below. We can chat about whatever you want. Doesn't even have to be Magic-related content, just whatever pops into your mind. Show your love and show your appreciation. And we do, again, really are happy that you are here with us today. Okay, so let's see. Moving on, what do we got here? Edgar. So it's going to be vampires now. Orzhov vampires. We haven't played vampires in a while. Anybody a fan of vampires out there? Anybody a fan of the poison or snake stuff? Me, I love tribal decks. Anything that's creature focused is definitely going to be always my jam. You can always have me see me playing something like that. Or if nothing else, what is it? I guess I also am a big fan of, again, mono red, aggro decks. Also love artifact decks out there. But what about all of you out there? Okay, so I guess that's my question for everybody. What is your favorite archetype to play again with? Are you a control player? Do you like mid-range piles? Do you like everything ETBing for extra value? Token strategies? Let me know. I would love to hear what is your style of Magic. As far as for our opponent's concerned, their style of Magic right now is just literally stalling us out. But okay, looks like they should be hopefully here soon. Okay, so let's see. So Edgar is kind of a pain to deal with. He's not the worst, but he can be a bit troublesome if we don't have an answer for him. Let's get out that Underground Mortuary, our best land to get right now. Okay, Prosthetic Injector. We'll keep that. Put down the Forest. Fanatic of Ronos. That's our ramp. Opponents. Let's see. Bitter Blossom. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so we do actually have an answer for this. I love this. Okay, Aphelia coming down. Sorry, opponent. No Bitter Blossom for you. Too bad. Okay. So that's out of the way. So we don't have to worry about token shenanigans. Most likely our opponent might have some kind of removal here. But we'll see. Do they have it? They can also get rid of Fanatic of Ronos as well. Okay, they shock themselves. Rally the ranks. Obviously choosing vampires. Vampires? Vampires? There we go. Okay. Ah, I knew that. How did I know? How did I know? I just knew. Okay, prosthetic injector. We will put that on top of Aphelia here. Hollow Work Surge. Let's see. What do we want here? Do it this way. Counter. Down to 21. And we get our first poison counter. So we are slowly making our way. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. But we'll be able to really track once we can get Fanatic of Ronos to go off with 4 green mana. Then we should be able to speed this game plan up a lot more. Although it's only awkward because every card in our hand is black. Ooh, okay, here comes Edgar. All right. Well, let's see. Has a mana value. Okay, he can't be hit just yet. That's okay though. Scourge of the Undercity. It gives it menace, right? Okay, that's good. And we'll pay the 2. There we go. Nice. Okay, so little by little, getting those poison counters. If we can just get one more, Edgar won't be much of a threat for a little while. Okay, Metallic Mimic. Choosing the vampires. Blah. Blah. Is that what? Oh, no, jeez. All right, well, there goes Aphelia, everybody. That's annoying. Not the worst, though. It's not horrible. We can still get around this game plan. Opponent does swing. Edgar gets blocked, so he will flip. Does our opponent put him back in his hand, or does he flip him into... Yes, okay. Whisper of the Dross. Okay, so with that, first off, that goes bye-bye. And we will equip Prosthetic Injector. Swing with both. Put a counter on it. Down to 14. Corrupted now is active, so that's good for us. We just need one more counter on it, and Fanatic will be a lot easier to utilize. However, our opponent does have 4 cards in hand. We are only down to 2. Cleric class, okay. They can start gaining life soon, okay. Twilight Prophet, oh. And the city has given them their blessing. Urborg Repossession. That doesn't help us out right now, does it? Okay. Swing here. Put a counter on it. Opponent. Blocking. Okay. They have to block with both. This is actually good for us. There we go. Okay, so with that... 4 mana. Beautiful. Aphelia coming back in. And... Soul Coil Viper. Alright. We're slowly going to make our way through this. We will grind it out if we have to. Don't give up. At least not yet. Okay, let's see. So they do have Knight of the Even Legion. Cleric class is going to be a pain until we can get rid of that. But even so, we still have options here. We just need more removal. If we can get through our removal, we should be good. 28. Okay, Revitalizing Repass is actually not too shabby here. So here's how we do this here. Add it back to Aphelia. And swing with her. Put a counter on her. Let us pay the 2. Okay. Opponents? No answer there. Okay. Well, Down 10. Okay. Very slowly. We are getting there. Oh. Ugh. They do have a removal spell, but we do have also Revitalizing Repass, so will our opponent Wrath? I think that hurts them more than it hurts us. But they might just do it here. Blind Obedience, okay. Opponents. Swinging with the Twilight Prophet. What will you do here, opponents? Down to 17. It's bumping up. Smell Fear. Okay, that actually is not too shabby here. Here's how we do this. Okay, I think we swing here, pump it up. If they have a way of hitting it, I think we can do this. Okay. Blocking. And blocking. That's 8 damage. Okay. Does this work? Opponent, do you have an answer? Okay, good. They're down. Okay. This does mean, however, we will be in a bad spot here for just a brief moment. Smell Fear. But since this is indestructible for now, we might as well do it now. Opponents. Hits. Twilight Prophet is down. And I think we're good here. Okay. Okay. So, is there a way out of this? They're still at 21. We're at 17. I do see literally coming a mile away Blood in the Snow. So they do have a Wrath. This does mean we will get blown up here very, very heavily. But can we get around that? We do have an Urborg Repossession. We do have a Whisper of the Dross. And we do need only 4 more poison counters so we can get an alt win con there. Vein Ripper. Ooh, that's a problem card. Okay. Can we get around that? Can we get around a Vein Ripper? That's a lot of life gain and drain if it all goes down. So let's soften that up. Pump ourselves up. Ooh, Disciple of Freyles is actually pretty good here. So, here's how we do this. We will sacrifice our Scourge. We will lose 2 for a second, but we do refuel here. Nice. That's much better. Okay, so. Let's see, did we actually get... Okay. Then the Fangbearer. Even with him currently off to the sidelines there, that could still help us out. Let's see, so... Put it on there. Okay. So our opponent has to do some really gnarly blocks here if they want to survive. Even if they take care of Aphelia here and now, we should be okay. Okay, they block with 1 token. They block with 2 tokens. Do they lose their Vein Ripper, though? They don't. Wow. Okay. So we're up to 8 poison counters. So I'm guessing next turn has to be the... It's going to have to be that turn. It's a lot of damage. Okay. Do we lose on the next turn? Oh, we might lose, don't we? I forgot that they trigger off both of their abilities here. Oh boy. Dang. Alright. Well, we'll just take the L there. Wait. We won?
Wait, how did we win? I mean, yay? Wait.
Did we count wrong?
I mean, I'll take the win, but wait.
How did we do that? I thought we only got 2 poison counters off of that. Oh, wait, the toxic on there. Wait, okay.
Oh, that's right, because I'm so dumb, everybody. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I was confused for a second there, but really quickly. So Finn the Fangbearer gives 2 poison counters. So that means 2 from Aphelia. And also I forgot it had also Toxic 1 on there. Oh, okay. So that's how I got the win. Okay. I mean, here I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to take the L there. But okay. Win is a win. Yay. Once again, my own herpy derpy self does not know how to count. If I knew how to count better, I probably would be a much better Magic player. But okay, yay, I'll take that win. Okay, so we're looking at the clock right now, everybody. We are closing in near the end, but again, even if you're new to this, don't worry. I will be, of course, doing our proper wrap-up like we always do. Evaluation of the deck, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But again, we'll give that final evaluation, and if you stick around just a little bit after that, we will, of course, do our final quick little sneaky peek as to what's to come down the line. Oh. Wait, did we play this guy already? Okay. So, non-game there. Okay. But again, ranting again. We're going to try to do what we can to just get in a couple more games here. 1, maybe 2 games, depending on how long the next game takes. And we'll just do our wrap-up from there, everybody. I do appreciate all of you who have shown up today. And we'll make sure, of course, to give acknowledgement to every single one of you that has been in the chat. So we appreciate all of you. And of course, replays for this are going to be across every social that I have. So you'll have replays up on X, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Don't worry, they will all be there for you, everybody. And also, for those of you that are watching now, we also have, so you can see right here, we also are doing a vertical option for those of you that are watching on your phones. So hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. We'll play Stone Cold Serpent for 1. Just 1 for our Snake. Playing Heartthral the World Seed. I haven't actually played this card. I wonder if I should still. We might. Nurturing Peatland. Okay, Aphelia coming in. Alright. Snake Mommy is alive. Ooh, Sauce Chocobo. Okay, so it's... Oh, that's right, it's a landfall deck. Okay, well, let's see if we can get around this. Maybe we can. Okay, counters a board. Okay. Let's see here. Mana Confluence. Okay, Finn the Fangbearer coming in. Rika's chosen. Opponent. Oh, wow. Our opponent's like, I am not dealing with poison counters, so... All right, another free win for us. Yay.
I'll take my free wins. Gets dailies done. Extra bonus gold, extra bonus free cards. Can't hate on that. I mean, it's only 25 gold, but hey, I'll take it. We need every piece we can with Spider-Man coming up soon. Or I should say, through the Omen Pass. And at some point, I'm going to have to actually make that purchase for the actual set. So we have all the cards we need ready to go once this drops. Okay, maybe this one will be the one. Oh, they're playing Slivers. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get around Slivers. I have words to say about Slivers, but I will hold off until the very end of the stream. But okay. All right. Come on, opponent. Sorry, guys. I'm just stretching myself out here a little bit. Okay. A little achy over here. Okay, and you're tapped. All right, opponent. Bring it on. You might be our final game for the day, everybody. So let's see what they got. Let's see. Okay, tap land. That's cute. Forest. Okay, Aphelia once again coming on in. She's here to do her thing. So if they're playing Slivers, I don't know how much removal they might actually have, but we'll see. Growth Spiral, okay.
Getting their ramp going.
Restless Cottage, that's fine. Okay, Yuan T Fangblade. Maybe we can start doing some dungeon crawling. Down to 24. Okay, what else we got, opponents? Cold Steel Hearts. All right. Opponent is getting down their tap mana rock here. Choosing green. Any slivers coming down? Rockfall Veil. Slivers coming. Anytime now. Oh, still no slivers just yet. They're just trying to make sure they get the ramp so they probably can get down the Sliver Overlord ASAP. That's fair. I can see them doing that. Restless Cottage. This time, however, we will start making our tokens. Down to 21. And let's venture into a dungeon. It is adventure time. We'll do it this way. Gain some life. Pass. Okay. Repass here just in case Aphelia ends up getting borked. Oh, here we go. Sliver Hive Lord. Training rounds. Okay. So we do have ways of getting around stuff here. Let's see. Here's how we do this. A small sacrifice to pay. I know our opponent's probably like, wait, why is he doing that? We have because the Galaxy Brain move here. Wait, that didn't work? Wait, how come that didn't work? It just minused it. Did I do something wrong there? Okay. Huh. Did I mess that up? Huh. Okay. Well, I feel dumb now. I guess I should have read the cards correctly. I thought... So does that mean I have to -5, -5? No, jeez. Well, okay. I feel foolish there. We're going to pretend that didn't happen, everybody. It's okay, though. It's okay. Despite my own dumb, herp-a-derp way, we will still try to find a way around this. Okay. I'm going to start looking for their slivers here. Okay. Here come the slivers. Doing their thing. And damage. Okay. Well, I think I might have to do one more after this because I realize now I have done a big boo-boo. Okay, we can't even touch our slivers now. Well, that's the issue with slivers. Once you start getting them to go off, they will go off. There's not much we can really do about that. Okay, so they have the sliver they needed. So, you know, we'll just concede there. Again, nothing wrong with slivers. We actually haven't played slivers yet, but I will talk about them in a bit. Let me try to do one more, everybody. So win or lose on the next one. Win or lose. This will be our final match for today, everybody. Do appreciate all of you being here. But we're going to get this going here. We're now getting our game face on. We're going to be super duper serious here. Super duper serious. Let's do this. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. As soon as our opponent loads up here, we'll get our final game going. And we'll see how well we do. Okay. As soon as we can get that match ready. Come on. Find me opponent. There we go. Yeah. All right. A lot of coaches today. Kind of bored of seeing this card. We played this card a while ago, but it is kind of getting a little boring dealing with this. But okay, let us see if we could try to get around this. Okay. We do have what we need. The good news is we do have that. Okay, opponent's going to play Wooded Foothills. Hedge Maze, Surveillance. Okay, we did get a Forest. That's good. Let's get down the Cottage. No turn 1 plays just yet. Well, technically we did have a turn 1 play with the Chosen, but we're going to wait. Forest. Fang of Shigeki. Freak is Chosen. Okay. So we do have our Snake plan ready to go. Deathcap played. All right. The boots are coming in. Swamp. Pin the Fang Bearer. All right. 4 counters already. Poison times 4. Okay. 6 more, and we can get to our win. Coaches is coming in. All right. That's cute. Let us play Binding of the Old Gods. Okay, get rid of that. We will... Big swing here. We will lose our snakes, but that's a small price to pay just to make sure we can get the poison counters. 6, 8. All right. 2 more poison counters and we get the win here. A pretty quick win if we can grab it. Any of our proliferate cards would get us the win here. Come on, deck. I believe in you. We can totally do this. Okay. Opponent's got 5 cards in hand. Any removal right now will hurt us. Oh, they actually didn't. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let's get out. Get that tapped. Mirex. Aphelia. Verosco. Okay. Opponent needs any removal right now to slow us down. We have all Death Touch creatures, and we're going in right here. Do they stop us? I'm sure they have to have something. Do they hit us with... Do they stop Finn? Yep, there it is. Alright. So we lose the Fang. But again, small price to pay. Do they hit the Great Henge? No, they hit... Okay, so they bounce back Verosca. Okay. Annoying. But again, not the worst. Still going to be a ways away before we get to the Great Henge. Ooh. Hexproof and can't be blocked by... Okay, that's annoying. Okay, well, we'll see. Can they start stealing our cards? Oh. Oh, no. No! They're going to start blowing away all of our lands. So they turned one of our lands to a beast, but okay. Down to 22. They get to steal cards from us. If it's one thing I absolutely hate in this game is I don't like my stuff being stolen. I would rather get my stuff counterspelled before anything else. Okay. One gets to steal from us that. Okay. So. Okay. Desperation time. Okay, so that's gone.
My old skills still have their uses.
No attacks yet. If I can get down the Great Henge, I'd have a shot. But at this point, geez, they're going to start attaching more ores, aren't they? Ugh. Not good. Now they're going to start stealing all this stuff. Like, okay, I get it, opponent. Ow. Oh, jeez. Aw. I didn't want to have another stream end on a loss. Jeez. And then everything they get, they can take away for free. So, it's just... Look at all that. Look at all that nonsense. I'm not dealing with that, everybody. I'm sorry. I don't like my stuff being stolen, and also that was way too hard of a hit, so we're gonna have to take the L on that one. Well, it's okay, everybody. I guess we're gonna have to leave it on a sad note there, but that's okay. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, but that's it. Also, I'm beyond sick of playing with Kotis. Why is it I'm facing off against Kotis so much today? I don't know. It was something in the air, or at least something in the shuffler. In any case, let's go ahead. Let's not think about the past. Let's go ahead. Let's move on, and let's talk about the deck overall, because we're wrapping this up here and now, everybody. So, how did we feel about the deck overall, everyone? Snake Waifu. Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Did you like it? Personally, again, it's okay. I was actually hoping for a little bit more. We did get some sweet, sweet wins. We managed to get the poison win, and we managed to get the drain win. So I was really happy about those wins overall. Having said that, I don't know. Maybe I should probably tweak the deck a little bit more so that way it can go into one direction or the other. The snake option there is good. However, you really want cards that actually want to drain out your opponent even quicker. So if I were to do this again, cards that would actually, if you care about the instant lose game plan, there is actually one mythic rare I would recommend for you. So if you want to ignore the actual snake game plan, because maybe that was a trap for us for a bit. Bloodletter of Aclazaz here can then make an opponent drain twice as much. So in other words, if you can get Aphelia to do damage, and she can drain half of their life. If you have a Bloodletter out, that's instant game over. So that's a way you can kind of do an instant 2-card combo if you want to do that. If you want to lean more into stuff that just controls the board and just use Aphelia as mostly just to build up some snake tokens when you need them to, you can do that with the deck. You don't have to go with the snake plan like I did. I think that was just the simplest option for us, but I don't know if it was the best option. There's a bunch of other cards that support the stuff. So if you use Grave Pact and a lot of snakes die, you can make your opponent sacrifice a bunch of extra creatures to control the board. Same with things like Kalitas here. If a non-token creature would die, you can exile them, so that means they don't get death triggers. There's different ways you can kind of play around with Aphelia here if you want to go beyond the snake or the Gorgon plan. Another kind of cheap way you can do it, and again, it can be a little bit goofy, but it is doable. So if you want, I think Masquerade Nexus is another option for you. So let's see here. Where is it at? I'm trying to find it for you guys. Where is it at? Where's that? Oh, there it is. Okay. So Masquerade Nexus can also be another option for you. Turns all of your creatures into every creature type. So doing this means all of their things become snakes and Gorgons. So this is also an easy way to kind of mix and match what you want until you get this Masquerade Nexus out. But again, your mileage will vary depending on what you want to do with the deck. If you want to go more poison, you can actually choose to do more poison stuff as well. So if you want to, hold on. So if you want to look at it from this perspective, you can also do poison, and you can also play around with a bunch of stuff that actually gets poison stuff going there. This just means that you won't do as many snake options for you, but you can use cards like Venerated Rot Priest. You can use other cards that will put poison counters on stuff, or toxics like Viral Spawning here. Poison the Blade also can give you Death Touch. Poison Tip Archer. These technically don't provide that, but also can provide extra alternate win cons for you. And it's kind of just whatever you want to do with it. Having said that, if you do like the upgraded version, I think the upgraded version was a lot more stronger and definitely a lot better. Well, I mean, obviously it's stronger, but realistically though, if you're going to play like a deck like this, you really want to invest on the stronger cards that will help you with your poison game plan. We didn't get a chance to show off every single one of them, but again, it's still pretty good overall for what you can get. But again, bare minimum, if you can, just upgrade your mana base, because at least the mana base, even if you don't like the deck overall, you can still use the mana base for many other decks that you want to build in the future. So mana base first, then upgrade the actual main deck itself. That's again what I always recommend for you if you want to do these. Now, overall, if you still liked either deck, one more time, these of course will be attached to links in the details of these videos once we are done. So I'll leave those up for you wherever you are watching the content, so you can still enjoy them and put them together for yourself. Maybe you can mix and match, and maybe you can make something even better than we currently did today. Now, before we get going, for all of you that have stuck around this far into the video, thanks again as always, everyone, because you are my true fiery friends. So because of that, we'll kind of give you a little idea as to what's to come. So basically, Kalane will be our next budget deck tech. This will be a Brawl deck. No Raiders, no Mythics. This is going to be ready to go. We're still working on editing it down, but this should be good to go hopefully Monday morning, if not Tuesday morning for sure. So this will be coming up soon, so we'll talk about that in the upcoming future. As far as future streams and what we're looking at, we have slivers. We are going to try to do our own sliver deck near the very end of the Edge of Eternity's era before we get to the Owen Pass / Spider-Man set. So this will be something that we're definitely going to be doing too. So we got that down the pipeline. As far as anything else, I'm not sure, honestly. Only just because I've just been feeling a little tired. So I've been trying to rack my brains out to figure out, new deck ideas. There are definitely going to be some new ideas we have, but we're kind of still in the process of trying to figure out what to do. We also have, again, 2 other decks. I just don't have the rares and mythics for them, but I do want to do Oops All Goyfs for Timeless. Maybe this might work, maybe not, but it requires so many mythics. So this is why I can't put this one out there just yet. We're still missing a handful of them for the deck. I don't even know if I can actually make that work for budget, but I might try in the future. We're also going to try to work on a Slimefoot deck. So this will be a Golgari deck. This will be another ultra budget deck that we are planning on doing for the future once that time comes. But those are still going to be way down the pipeline whenever we have time for that. Otherwise, maybe we might do, before we get to Spider-Man, maybe we might do a super serious deck tech. In other words, no budget for this one. It's just going to be us focusing on trying to play the rank. But we'll see. We'll play around with things and we'll kind of give you an idea as to what's to come coming up soon. But otherwise, that's going to be it for today, everybody. I appreciate all of you that showed up today. So shout outs before we get going. So over on YouTube there, we have, of course, sneaking that. Oh yeah, you're saying that. Thanks again, guys. So yes, shout out to, of course, MTG Hillbilly and a Sneaky Toilet for popping in for today. Thanks again to Corrupted Elliot, a brand new person that hopefully we'll get a chance to see more often on stream. And all of you that did pop in to say hi for a little bit there, Grubby, Oliver Frisbee at the very beginning, that Pookie, of course. We also have, there was another person here. I want to make sure I get everybody here. Sean O'Brien, thanks again also for popping up as there. And if I don't get you because maybe you're on another platform I can't see the chat on, I do apologize for that. But I still appreciate every single one of you that showed up for today. We're going to try it again to do another stream on Wednesday. That'll be scheduled next time. More or less, that'll be the same time, approximately 1 to 3. And we'll see you again very soon, everybody. Until next time, have a wonderful weekend. But as always, I like to remind everyone, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We will see you again next stream on Wednesday, everybody. Later.